Hello and welcome to Computer Lab Hijinks, a show about games, old software, and web ephemera. Today we're doing a bit of a shameless self-promotion episode. I am Nathan, and you are someone else.
I'm Janelle McGinnis.
And what are you? Who are you?
Oh, that's a mystery woman. I'm a comedian, and I am in the shameless self-promotion that we are going to be talking about today.
Yes, we're going to be talking about a show called Exile's Beyond, which is a web show that I made. Well, we shot it last year, and you are in it.
I am.
I am also, unfortunately, in it. An actor out of convenience, but it's I wrote and directed is the main thing. I feel like right off the top we should address that something kind of wild happened this week with the show. Do you know about this?
Oh no, you have to tell me.
So we did a video months back about James Rolfe and the DVX 100. So it's he's like an old YouTube personality, and we talk about the camera he used early on, and that was a pretty good video. I thought I stand behind it.
Yeah.
A much larger, much more popular YouTuber referenced it in their video, and someone I really like, someone named Dan Olson who does Folding Ideas.
Yeah.
And I caught it right away because he's the kind of YouTuber where it's like as soon as he uploads something, I watch it immediately.
Yeah.
And then I thought there's like two other people who are going to know about this, and those people texted me like within the hour. They're both like, "You're in a Dan Olson video."
That's incredible.
Because I was just watching, and then there was me. It was very, very off-putting.
You're like, oh, jump scare.
Yeah, because it already, not everyone might know this, but when you edit yourself, it is like a different person. It doesn't feel like you're watching yourself.
Yeah.
And this was like that, but extended. I was like, oh, who is that guy? But I know it's me.
Yeah, it is weird when you pop up, but you're not, because normally we are in charge of when we appear in front of ourselves, whether standing in front of a mirror or we've just recorded something with ourselves in it.
Right.
But very infrequently does someone just show us ourselves.
This is you, yeah.
Without us planning it in advance.
Yeah, it's like a twist on the Narcissus fable. It's just like the water then just jump scares him with himself.
Yeah.
That's that could be its own film. I think some sort of...
Let's get that in action.
So we made... What would you describe Exiles Beyond as, the show that we made?
To me, it was kind of like, well, it was a mockumentary. It could lean into like comedy of errors in the sense that it's kind of like a bunch of idiots doing idiotic things. But it's also like a very fun, niche series that if you're really into like old style video games, it's a fun little thing.
I hope so. It is definitely errors. There's only one character I'd say who does anything good, which is Isabel's character, Ruth.
Yes, yes.
Everyone else is horrible the whole time.
Yeah. Even the guy that loves trees. Wait, you're the guy that loves trees.
I'm the guy that loves trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite inexcusably awful in that episode. I think
he can't get over his own world of like, we need more trees.
To him, the whole point of the game is that there's trees.
There's trees. He's like, so I work for a company where we make a video game where there's trees. You walk through the trees. I would love for one day people to climb the trees. And then I think there's also a couple buildings and some quests.
It's exactly like working in corporate video because, when I was doing audio, I was like, everyone loves audio so much and this is all they're going to care about. And then like, or there's a scene I like and I'm like, this is the best thing. And it's like, no, other people's departments actually matter quite a lot. And other people are real and they have thoughts and feelings.
They're not real if you never see them. And when you're in sound, you never do. Actually, you probably do, but...
You can close your eyes and just dream. Yeah, so Eli's going through it. Part of the joke with him, I don't really like to explain my work publicly, but I guess I've cornered myself on this one.
Oh, I think it's fun.
Part of the joke with Eli is that he's obsessed with the trees in this game that's a ripoff of Myst. Myst, to this day, I would say Myst is a fantastic looking game, super ahead of its time. The pre-rendered graphics, like fantastic. The trees are like horrible, like just shockingly bad looking. Especially there's like a fly around video where they just look like triangles. It's like... It's really unfortunate. So yeah, we're sort of making fun of, or we're sort of aping the style of like D.A. Panabaker and a little bit of Ken Burns in there with the voiceovers. And there's a lot of odd looking people in Ken Burns films, which is kind of my favorite thing about them. Yeah. Documentaries just have strange looking people. And so I wanted to capture that with my bowl cut, I guess. I
also think like I'm sick of seeing people that are just so hot on media in general. Like we get it. We like looking at hot people, but like, it's fun when you see not hot people too.
Yeah, or like interesting looking people in any way, right? I think Steve Buscemi is a very handsome man, but I think part of the reason we like looking at him is that he's very interesting looking.
Yeah. I think the reason it gets me so riled up is because even like it's always like super hot women, like regular looking women so often just get shoved away from lead roles for the hotter person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we get regular looking men. Why can't we have regular looking women?
Yeah, that is the thing. I think in terms of like the Hollywood machine, the most weird looking woman is like someone who's completely like is a model.
Who's still hot.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when they're looking for someone who's like fun and relatable looking, it's like Emma Stone. And I'm like, she's still very hot. She's got giant doe eyes and like a perfectly symmetrical face.
Yes. Yeah, it's like there'll be one like almost thing that's reminiscent of a quirk, but still like a model's face, right? And
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a sad thing. Anyway, I don't know if we captured that in Exiles Beyond, but I think my bowl cut is sort of like trying to make up for that.
Yeah, I think the bowl cut's important.
Bowl cut's important.
It's a step forward for all of us.
It's really helping society. We're gonna have a clip. We're gonna show a clip.
Oh, I love it.
It's one of my favorite scenes for a number of reasons, mainly because both characters are kind of right in this scene, but they're going about it in a very socially incorrect way. Yeah. They're both like explaining themselves badly, even though they both kind of have a point. And it's just a wild scene. So yeah, let's roll the clip.
Knock, knock.
Hi, Susan.
There's something you want to tell me in person?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
I got the memo. I just hope that you would tell me to my face that you want to single-handedly ruin this game with the base 25 puzzle.
Whoa, it is not going to ruin the game, Susan. Let's take it down a notch, okay?
I have been trying to understand it all day, and I get none of it, okay? And I am incredibly intelligent. You are making a huge mistake based on ego.
We need to do something bigger than the last games, okay? We are making this for the consumers.
But half of the consumers returned the game. You have to understand. I too once flew too close to the sun. I've made mistakes based on ego. How familiar with Farsi variety TV are you?
I mean, familiar as one can be.
Okay, great. So very familiar. I was once in charge of a show, and I had this amazing idea to bring back nostalgia of old vinyls. And so I took the laser discs and I made them black on both sides.
Sorry, you made laser discs that were black, like records?
Yes, exactly. I thought it would bring back the nostalgia of the vinyls. But the consumer was so stupid that they were putting them in their record players even though they're the wrong size. The consumer doesn't know what they want. Who would have thought that an all-black Laserdisc would be confused for a record?
I think a lot of people would have thought of that, Susan. Of course they're gonna think it's a record.
That's not true. There's grooves in things. There's grooves. I thought we were on the same page here.
I honestly, I don't think we're ever on the same page, Susan, okay? Look, I could have just taken a buyout, okay, from the last two games. I'm gonna be real with you, but I didn't. I didn't because I am so certain about this next game being the precipice of the gaming world, okay? The consumers, they're requesting more complex puzzles, and we're giving them the most complex puzzle that they could ever ask for, Susan. This is where the game has to go.
Look, I appreciate your need to want to be the captain of this ship, but you're sinking us with you. Ahoy, Captain.
And that's the clip. What did you think of your own acting? Wasn't it great?
Stunning Oscar moment. Call all the award shows.
Very good. I'm not afraid to say it.
No, I like that scene. I think for the reasons that you said before, which is they're both kind of wrong. They're both like on different pages. That was a very fun scene for me to improvise through, just because there were the random facts that you'd given me about her background, like about working in like Farsi TV and like making laser discs that looked like records. So that was just very fun to find ways to bring into this conversation, like to have a point.
Yeah, like really obscure
to
media.
Say it. And I don't know. I think the best thing about that character generally was that it's so fun to play someone who's so idiotic and doesn't know it.
Right. She's very confident.
Like she's so confident and she thinks she's so smart. Yeah. But Like, she's so idiotic.
Yeah, I think there's people like that in every office in terms
There
of like,
absolutely is.
because there's people that are just meant to do office work, and then whatever the industry is, like industrial freight elevators, and they don't know how that works, nor should they.
Yeah.
And then just a lot of tension with the people on the ground making decisions, and then whoever's upstairs in the office.
Well, also too, like I always find that companies love to pay their employees as little as possible. And one way to pay employees as little as possible is to get someone who like kind of doesn't have the right experience for that job.
Yes.
And so you end up with people who don't have the experience to do their job they're doing, but they got hired because they're willing to take the job for less money.
The low pay, yeah.
And then it just creates like a plethora of problems.
I will say to that point, like most of the characters in Exiles Beyond are like severely overqualified. And then there's just Susan, who's just like, she's there.
Like she's one of those people that she thinks that she's right and she is so willing to speak that sometimes she tricks people into believing her. What was it? I think it's proven that generally in like a group of people, if one person is just speaking the most, it doesn't matter what they're speaking about, but if they're speaking the most, people automatically see them as like a leader. And that doesn't mean anything. It just means like I don't know, they're really interested in whatever they're talking about, or like they just like hearing themselves talk. Like it doesn't mean they're saying anything useful or have good leadership skills. It just means that they're willing to take the conversation and hold it captive.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's like most people in offices I found when I was in an office, unfortunately, for a while. Yeah, a lot of those people. And you're like, why are you here? Like, you should be. We're going to end the episode with the trailer for Exiles Beyond, very expertly edited by me. And then the whole show's free on YouTube, so you should go watch it. It's really good. What? I say unbiased. This is a show where we're very critical of media, and so you should believe me when I say my own show is fantastic.
You sold me.
There we go.
Sold. I was in it, but I'm still sold.
There we go. See? Yeah, thank you for watching Computer Lab Hijinks. I'm Nathan.
And I'm Janelle.
Telling you to keep your files safe, keep your passwords managed, and for goodness sake, don't click on any strange links. We'll see you in a week.
Welcome to day 1 of Exiles Beyond 3. We have our programmers programming, our modelers modeling. You know, it's a well-oiled machine.
Can I be honest with you? It's not a fun game.
Have you ever heard of the Quake engine?
Then we can have the character walking around real time in the world.
I know what you're getting at, and I don't want to do that.
Just to clarify, you're talking about the game where every frame takes a half hour to render with 2K textures, ray trace shadows, and you want that to happen 30 times a second.
Relto's Manor, we'll just call that, like that name is kind of complicated. I'm just gonna call that Sam's house.
We can render 45 trees, 50
high poly models up close. But then as we back away and they're in the distance,
The whole idea of a video game is about to change forever.
You wanted the responsibility of being a department head. These are the hard choices a boss has to make.
Was it worth it?
Do you have one of those square shaped, it's like this big, comes in different colors, and then we'll bring it to my computer, and then we insert it, and then the files.
You want one of these?
Yeah.